It was the late 2000s, when, in my country at least, Naruto was starting to get air for the first time ever, since it was originally released in Japan way back in October 3, 2002. I clearly remember that me and my family had barely gotten cable television, and needless to say, that summer me and my brother spent a lot of time catching up to shows that were very limited in regular TV, and finding new ones as well. One of those new ones was Naruto. Naruto was an instant attention grabber for me and my brother. Don't get me wrong, your boy had seen his good amount of Dragon Balls, Ranma and a half, and one too many pieces. But I've never been an anime expert myself, and Naruto was something very different to what I was used to. Naruto was very emotional from episode 1. The fights and overall, the whole show was very fast paced, and its animation style and its storyline was very interesting as well. Now, I know, there are many shows out there that are considered way better in all aspects by those of you who know and have seen more shows than me. But that is not what I'm trying to get at this video.
Got you!
As good as cable television was, my country was still fairly behind in the anime they aired. Dragon Ball Z was probably in its 100th run simply because it was the only complete show they owed. And Naruto was no exception to this, only airing up to season 2 and then circling back to episode 1. I clearly remember that the last season I watched on TV was season 2, as the last intro song was Go by Flow. However, I'm not here to talk about Go by Flow, as good as that intro was. You see, back then, the internet was getting kinda popular, but there were no streaming services for quite literally every type of show known to mankind. In my country, there was no Netflix, no Hulu, no Crunchyroll, since streaming services were barely starting in America. Nope, back then, you had to arm yourself with a good old antivirus and search for what you wanted at your own risk, of course. I couldn't remember exactly what website I ended up finding, but it was good enough for me to take the risk to keep watching the show. I finished season 2 shortly after and continued to watch season 3. And that's when I first heard this little piece. What you're listening to right now is the song Saishun Kyuku? I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing that right. Or Youth Rhapsody by Sambo Master, the first of 2 intros used for Naruto, Season 3. Now, to say that I was blown away by this intro song would be a complete understatement. The first thing that I noticed about this song was the amazing combination of visuals with the feelings that the song tries to convey. I was honestly very surprised by how I was left feeling after every time I listened to this intro. I felt a sense of hurry, a desire to right my wrongs, and I was immediately remembering my best friends and loved ones, and the lengths that I would take for them if I knew they were in a situation like this. Of course, I will never be in a situation in which any of my best friends or loved ones will be trying to escape to a crazy snake senpai in order to kill their super cool older brother. But you know what I mean. That feeling that all of us experience at one time or another, that our best friend or someone we love is following something that will inevitably end up blowing in their faces, and the horrendous feeling of that person not really caring at all about what he or she is doing. Keep in mind that back then I didn't even know what the song was actually saying, and I didn't even fully know what was about to happen in the anime. The song itself, without me understanding a single word, was conveying all of these feelings and thoughts to me. Add to that the visuals that give you clues as to what's about to happen, and how they make you realize that something big is about to happen as well. It was the very first time that I had experienced something like this with just an intro song. Matter of fact is, I searched for the translation of a song a few years later, and I was amazed to see that the lyrics themselves are incredibly connected to what's about to happen in the anime, which is probably the reason why this song was picked in the first place. But moving on. Now, you might be wondering, Yeah, it's a pretty good intro. But is it really as important as you think it is? Well, this intro song was the one used for almost the entirety of season 3 of Naruto, better known as the Sasuke retrieval arc. Out of the 41 episodes of season 3, Saishin, you know what I mean, was used for 35 episodes. And if you ask me, 29 out of those 35 episodes, more specifically from 107 to 135, are amongst the best episodes of Naruto ever aired, from start to finish. And I quite literally mean start, as from the beginning of the intro song to the very end of each episode. You see, this intro, in my opinion, did something that not a lot of intros manage to do, and he did it perfectly. It sets up the mood in the viewer before the episode even starts. While there are countless shows that try to do this, I always felt like most of those try to go with rather a good and catchy song, instead of going with one that makes you feel something. I've went to countless videos of this song, and in all of them, with no exceptions, there are millions of views and thousands of comments saying things like, "This is the best intro." Talking about how the intro made them feel so much back then, and how even listening to just this song nowadays brings back all those feelings from when they were watching the show back then. I even found a couple of comments saying how they don't speak Japanese and they don't understand what's saying, but this song moved them. It's amazing. To be completely honest with you, there are periods of time where I just download the song and listen to it while I'm driving. It is seriously that good. But going back to how the song connects to the show, I don't think I've ever experienced the sensation of an intro leading me into what's about to happen in the episode that I'm currently watching, while at the same time setting the mood for events that are about to come as much as I did with this one. Are Naruto and Sasuke about to become rivals? You already have the feeling of worry in you. Are Neji and Shoji about to be half dead? You're already in a hurry about it. Is Rock Lee going to make a comeback and give us one of the best battles up to that point? You are already excited about it. Are Naruto and Sasuke about to have the most emotional, action-packed, and exciting fight of the show up to that point, and probably of the entire show? You are already in a mood with all the previous feelings combined. Did Naruto lost to Sasuke, got away because of it, setting up for an unhuman number of events to come? You are already sad about it. And all those feelings and emotions begun harvesting from the moment you heard those drums. Naruto may not be the best anime of all time. There are many valid critiques that are often thrown its way. The ungodly amount of filler, how it went from telling stories about ninjas to telling stories about literal gods, power scaling issues, even some animation issues here and there. But no matter how many critiques, valid or not, are thrown its way, no one can take away the masterpiece that was Season 3, from the opening to ending credits, and how Season 3 managed to master the art of a good intro. And that's how Naruto taught me the importance of a good intro.